Good afternoon, y'all. Today, I have big news. We are starting a new playlist. That's right, we're going to do a new playlist, and it is going to be the story of our owner-operator life. If that makes any sense, it's going to basically be step-by-step, me telling the story of how we became owner-operator, how we started our business, and how we have maintained our business through all the ups and downs and all arounds. So some of this information can be found in other playlists, like my Schneider playlist, my advanced playlist, my authority playlist. But this one is just going to be specifically for all of it, the story of our business, of how things have happened, and just looking back, kind of. And I hope y'all enjoy it. I hope it gives you some road footage. And like I say, it's going to be in a playlist. So with the playlist, as you're going about your day, you can hit play on one and it'll play through them all. And I kind of like that about the playlist. So stage one of owner-operator life was, of course, getting the truck. And before you get the truck, you actually have to make the decision. Something, in my opinion, needs to push you towards making that decision. And in our case, well, I was working for a company and they lost the contract for the place that we were hauling for. So my loads went from 5 a week to like 2, maybe 3 a week. So our money dropped a lot. And we were already living week to week. So we got behind on our house note, and we were dependent on the income tax to come so we could pay up our house note. Well, that year it did not come because we had took out the healthcare marketplace the year before, and something went crazy, and our check was held for months. So I had to do something, and the only thing I seen that would help was KLLM had a program where you could go and get in a truck and they would give you a sign-on bonus. I think it was like $2,500, and I did that. I went up there through their orientation. I picked out me a truck and went out there running the roads with KLLM. I was never really planning on staying with KLLM because I had a feeling the way they were set up was not going to fit my lifestyle. And I was correct, because they used dispatchers, and under their dispatcher, I would ask to come home to just change out my stuff in my truck. And he would not do it. I was in West Virginia. He was sending me to Ohio when I was telling him I needed to get back to Mississippi. And, well, long story short is I didn't last there just a few weeks, and I got away from KLLM. I liked the truck, and the money was good, but it was not ever going to work out to where I could stay with KLLM. So I had my first taste of being an owner-operator, and I liked it. So I went back to my original company, and they put me on a different haul for a little while I waited for Schneider, because I wanted to go to Schneider. But the wife was not on board. She was definitely not on board. She did not want to do the OTR thing. She had a bad taste in her mouth because of KLLM. I think my little boy was calling them the daddy stealers because I was gone for so much. But finally, the Lord relented and he changed her mind. We were sitting on the couch one night and she said, "You know what? Let's do it. Let's go to Schneider. Let's give it a try." Because I had been trying to explain how it was choosing your own freight using a phone. And they were letting me come over for $0 down because I had so much experience. It's just I didn't have a lot of credit history and stuff. So my credit wasn't good. So I got in touch with SFI and we got a truck. We picked a truck online. I didn't really like that part of it because you don't put your hands on your truck till you get to orientation. And that's a little sketchy, but I didn't want a brand new truck, so I got a gently used truck. My truck had 228,000 miles on it when I got it. It smelled like dog and cigarettes because whoever had it had the dog and he smoked a lot. I had to scrub, and there's still dog hair under some of these cabinets and such. But once I made it mine, it's been a good truck. Knock on wood, it'll keep being a good truck. I feel blessed to have Dee Dee. That's what I call her, Dee Dee. And well, the first week orientation, they gave me a car to get up there to orientation, a rental car. So we took the rental car up there, and I went through orientation. Didn't enjoy the fact that they made us share a room with another driver, but I didn't have money to go buy my own room, so that's the way it was. So we shared a room. I didn't really sleep that week. I have a hard time trusting folks, especially since things we've been through. But orientation was all right. I was so glad to get my truck. It was like 2 orientations, though. You had one with SFI, which is Schneider Finance, and then you had one that was with Schneider National. That's where you actually got your loads and everything. They're 2 separate companies under the same umbrella, I guess you could say. But you go through orientation. They feed you. They board you. Like I say, they got me a car, and we went up there, got the truck, and went through all the computer-based learning, listening to all of their extra safety procedures. I never had worked a Qualcomm before, so that was interesting. I have worked the E-Log, but never the Qualcomm. I never knew how to do all that stuff, and then I had to learn the app too, because you pick your freight on the app. I had a lot of learning curve there. But I was able to do it. My truck note was like $670 a week plus $194 maintenance on a 1-year lease. I don't even think they do the 1-year lease anymore. I think it's like 1.5 years the shortest they do. And then I re-upped for a little while before I got it moved over to my bank. I only had $20 in my pocket when I got to orientation, so I couldn't wait to get that truck start rolling and get my first load advance, because I was needing some money. I'm a fat boy, but I was starting to get a little skinny, you know what I mean? But I learned a lot that week at the orientation, but you just got to learn by doing it. They got to turn you loose. You got to get out there and actually do it. And I never looked back, really. Once I got out there and started going, I learned how to route myself through the house. I was at the house twice a week, maybe 3 times, just depending on how things was going. And Schneider had a lot of drop and hook freight, which helped me keep going even faster and moving the truck even better. It was great. I have to say it was great. They make it idiot proof. They make it easy. I did not really look forward to leaving when I left, because it was so easy and I was making decent money. I mean, it could have been better. It was only 65%. And then I had all these expenses on top of it. But once the expenses were gone, I would have been making good money, you know. And it was all drop and hook, super simple. It was, man, I couldn't have thought no better. But I had started the business in 2016 as a sole proprietor. See, when you get ready to do this, you need to make sure you understand taxes. And if you're just going to run the one truck, sole proprietor is perfect. If you're going to build it up to where you're going to make a whole lot of revenue, do a S corporation. And we'll get into a lot more of that in future videos. This is just stage 1. When I went to Charlotte and I got my 2014 Freightliner Cascadia Evolution with a DD15 and a 10-speed. She had 228,000 miles on it. I loved the truck. It was weird not being able to look at the truck before I got it, but it was well worth the experience. But that's all for today. That's our first video in this file. I hope y'all enjoy this playlist. God bless each and every one of you far and beyond your wildest dreams, and I will catch y'all on the next ride.